Squawking yoga, squawking mara, soro grama free. The squawking young and nugget and right, a quack my lumber wee. I'm going to do Sakia Joey, soro grama free. But I'm yelling to shin of Jenny and corn and quack my lumber wee. Go trust the money, get vicious no mind to soro grama free. Skip it for a land, she makes you get joy, you quack my lumber wee.
At first glance, the music of Glasheen may not seem very different, and the concert at the Redeemer Parish Community Centre in Dundalk not all that unusual. But everything isn't as normal as it might appear. To start, there's the fact that the group members returned to school the following morning to carry on their full-time job of teaching the children of Dundalk. Glasheen, the name means a small stream. I gather it's also the name of a wild herb used for the dyeing of Aran wool, was formed in Dundalk 2 years ago. They sing in Irish and English, and in particular Glasheen has been busy translating the songs of Bob Dylan into Irish.
Is kush na melche, ag arger a spare, Bina pashti ag sugru, ga herux an air. Haring to orm, ag me fadger the skal, Li to riu a yastu, a goni la fall. Sara, Sara, Dahri to dinshin, Li higim kin fwa. Sara, Sara, Stu rail na mine, stu blur na mla. Lasu la mokibna, fos fakim la hal, na pashti u de glinu, am wicked la sal. La see the gumper sliggin, am wish a da live, a Lanston na kayla, sus crick na dive. Sara, Sara, Dahri to dinshin, Ni higim came for Sara, Sara, Stu rail na mine, stu blue na mla.
Tuarí mé díobse on Abort August Bawatlam on
Peter McArdle and his fellow teachers believe there's not enough emphasis given to the teaching of traditional music in the country's national schools, and they suggest that both the language and the music will die out sooner than later if school children aren't involved. It's a view shared by McArdle's principal, Fred Bell.
Yes, I would like to see more done, especially when we have people able to do it. Singing is fairly well catered for within the school. Many teachers are able to teach singing, but very few teachers are able to teach music properly, especially instrumental music. And when this ability is there, it kind of worries me that enough isn't made of it.
Yeah, of course, they're teaching ordinary school subjects. They're not specialising in music in your school.
Yes, Peter and Jimmy have full classes to contend with, and any music work that they do, in actual fact, is done after school. I think that as specialists, they should be used within the school hours and treated as specialists to help other teachers within the school and, to properly teach music.
Well, in spite of the need for a greater importance to be placed on the teaching of music, it would seem that even teachers have a limited supply of altruism. Glasheen is considering a full-time professional career in folk music, and that, of course, would mean the members giving up their teaching jobs.
We've spoken about this and discussed it over the past year. What we'd like to do really would be to produce a series of albums for use in primary and secondary schools with a special emphasis on folk music, the folk music of our own country. And it's a special emphasis on the Irish language aspect of it.
You expressed some doubts about the health of Irish music, especially Irish music in schools. Tell me something about those worries.
Well, it is a well-known fact that while music is taught, singing is taught adequately in school, instrumental music tends to be neglected, and both in the folk tradition of the country and the traditional music in the country, I feel more work could be done in this area, whereby teachers with specialist interests in traditional music and in folk songs could become more involved, more professionally involved.
Sunday night last was an important occasion for the group. They were booked to play at the opening of the £60,000 community centre, and the concert allowed them to play for the first time in front of a representative gathering of their own people. Guest of honour for the evening was the Archbishop of Armagh, Dr. O'Fee, perhaps the group's keenest fan.
We're going to begin, as is only proper, with the spiritual words, and then we'll go on to a few perhaps a little bit less spiritual.
In the run-up to the November 5th concert, Dundalk's Kindlon had special attractions as a centre for practice. Attention to detail in the rehearsal sessions has been in part the secret of Glasheen's success.
This concert on November 5th, what do we all think of Cookman on the Wii as a piece?
It's a lady song.
Right. Okay, well, Tom, you've got the words off. How are we going to introduce it?
We've got Conor on the whistle.
You're right. Okay.
Kuakanyogas kuakamarak soro grama kri. It's kuakanyak and like and right a cook malunda we. Precious the money, precious the money, soro grama kri. Cause that she grew to make me toy the cook malunda we. Finish the water go good and right a soro grama kri. This thing is a shit of a lavatory right a cook malunda we. Kuakanyogas kuakamarak soro grama kri. It's kuakanyak and like and right a cook malunda we. Hey! Precious the money, precious the money, soro grama kri. Cause that she grew to make me toy the cook malunda we. Finish the water go good and right a soro grama kri. This thing is a shit of a lavatory right a cook malunda we. Kuakanyogas kuakamarak soro grama kri. Is kuakanyak and like and right a cook malunda we.